Good morning, friends. Today we're going to hear chapter 3 of The Case of the Stolen Sculpture. So, like always, we always think about what's been happening so far in the book. And in chapters 1 and 2, we found out that the museum, which is not far from the kid's house and is also the place where Clementine's mom happens to work, um, houses a really special statue. And again, if you watch the video, you know that those are real statues, really, really interesting statues from long, long, long time ago. So they're worth a lot of money and they're really, really precious. And one has gone missing. So the kids are getting ready to do their detective work. And we've already met some other characters in the book. We have met Dr. Wim, that's Clementine's mom. Many of you thought that Dr. Wim was a man. It's a woman. It's Clementine's mom. We also met Mr. Carnaby. I'm trying to think if we met anybody else at the museum just yet. I think that might have been all we've met yet. So we'll see if we find some new characters, and we'll see if we can add some more suspects to our list. But remember that a good sleuth, a good detective, considers every single thing a clue or an important fact. So keep that in mind as I'm reading. Chapter 3 is called On the Case. Thanks for coming down here today, guys, Clementine said as the four friends walked down the back hallway where all the offices were located toward the main part of the museum. But I don't think we'll be solving any mysteries this time. Why not? Raining asked. Haven't you noticed? Everyone here seems happy the Goudet is gone, Clementine said with a shrug. Maybe I should just forget about it. I can spend the day going door to door to raise more money for the new wing. Amal glanced at her doubtfully. Is that what you really want? She asked. If it is, we'll forget about the statue. Oh, heck, we'll even help you raise some money. Yeah, Rainey agreed. A cute kid like me could bring in some serious cash. Clementine laughed. Oh, you know that's not what I want, she said, smiling. I want to find the Gudea. Good, said Amal. I don't feel like walking all over the city knocking on doors today anyway. It's too hot outside. Now that that's settled, Wilson said, I think I know where we should start. Moments later, Amal strode right up to Mr. Carbone's office, her three best friends at her heels, and knocked 3 times on the door. Yes, a voice answered from inside. Amal pushed open the door, and they all stepped into Mr. Carbone's office. His space, just like Dr. Wim's, was a mess of clutter. But while Dr. Wim's office was mostly papers and books, Mr. Carbone's office was full of stacks and stacks of crates and boxes. Can I help? Oh, Clementine Wim, Mr. Carbony said. How are you? I'm fine, Mr. Carbony, said Clementine. These are my friends. Mr. Carbony nodded at the others. Are you all looking forward to next fall when when our new education wing is expected to be completed? You already know when the wing will be done? Clementine asked. I'm still reeling from the theft. Oh, you can be very sure that we're all still smarting from that, Mr. Carbony said. He came around his desk and sat on the edge, facing them. He put his hands over his chest and frowned. But though our hearts are breaking, we feel reassured that the hearts of our children will grow 10 times when they see our new wing just for them. So it went missing yesterday? Wilson asked. He clicked on his tablet, ready to take notes. Well, no, said Mr. Carbony. It was last seen on Saturday at closing time, a little after 7 that evening, I believe. When we opened on Tuesday morning, it was gone. So it could have been stolen any time over the weekend, Amal pointed out. Several of the capital city museums, including the Art Museum, were closed Sunday and Monday. Except that no one can get into the museum on the weekends, Carbony said. No one, said Raining. But what about, I don't know, you? Moi? Mr. Carbony said, clearly very taken aback. What are you implying? Clementine jumped between Mr. Carbony and Raining. He just means that many of the employees must have keys, she said quickly. So maybe someone with a key came in over the weekend. No, Mr. Carbony said, shaking his head. Entering the museum is not like unlocking the front door of your house and strolling in. There's a key to the steel gate, another for the glass doors, and a revolving door, and an electric security panel with a 12-digit code and fingerprint matching system. So if anyone typed in his or her code, Wilson said, or scanned their fingerprints, that would be in the security computer. Naturally, said Mr. Carbony. The phone on his desk rang, a series of 3 loud chirps, and he walked back around to the other side of his desk to answer it. And someone's checked the security computer? Amal asked. Mr. Carbony lifted the receiver and covered the mouthpiece. Well, I assume so, he said. There was an investigation after all. They even searched my house. He put the phone to his ear and signaled for the kids to leave. This is Mr. Carbony. Why, hello, Mrs. Claypool. So there is another character. Clementine ushered her friends out the door and closed it behind them. To the security office? She said. Of course, Rading replied, but I'll admit, I'm stumped. Already? Clementine asked. Wilson nodded. Me too, he agreed. I pegged Mr. Carbony for this, but he was pretty quick to point us to the security computer. I doubt he'd do that if he knew it was going to implicate him. So that big word, implicate, just means that if somebody's implicated, it means that like there's things that prove that that person did it. So I know I was suspecting Mr. Carbony because of the way he's acting, but I don't think that he would be so quick to let them go to where the security computer. So we'll see. Well, we might as well check, Amal said. If the computer is really keeping a log and Mr. Carbony came in over the weekend, it'll prove he did it. So start thinking about what we learned in this chapter, and you're going to be a super sleuth. So remember, a sleuth is a detective. So when you click in the box, you'll write down 3 clues or important information you know. So I would think of if anyone you think is doing anything suspicious. I would note down times. Think about the last time the Gudea had been seen. What you know about like the hours of the museum, things like that are important facts. And then you would click over here and write down who you suspect. And it can be more than one person. If you remember when we were doing the absent author mystery, anytime we just thought of anybody, we jotted their name down. And then as we found out more information, we crossed them off. And I think that's what a good detective or a good sleuth would do. So at least 3 clues. And then any suspects, if you have a name, jot the name. If you think it's somebody else we haven't met yet, you can just write that too. Okay. And then other than that today, the only other thing that I assigned you was spelling city. And I'm going to be honest, guys, that's mostly because a lot of our friends are missing some assignments. So if you have not completed everything for this week yet, today would be a really great time to go back and do those things. I am going to show you who is in our lead for Class Dojo. And then last reminder that there's going to be a pizza winner for today. So I'm going to announce that too. Okay, so in our homeroom, wow, Milani with 20 points, crushing it. I see Hannah up there, Shamar up there with 10. So I'm going to announce that today, the person who is getting some pizza for their family for lunch is Milani. So Milani, somebody will be bringing pizza to your house today around lunchtime. Congratulations. But remember that we're still looking for our Evergreen Scholar. So make sure that you're doing your best work every single day so that you can be considered for that. I'm not going to announce, I will show you the dojo points, but I'm not going to announce who Miss Golden's winner is yet. I do know, but she might have a special way of announcing that. But I can see that Josh C is crushing it. Kaden is doing an awesome job. Charles and Josh N, Nevaeh G, and SJ. Guys, you are really, really doing an awesome job. So keep up the great work. Okay? Proud of you.